too dangerous, rhymes too murderous.
All right, welcome back to one of the final quarantine check-ins for our trial because of COVID-19. I'm honored to have four of our amazing teachers. I would ask all of you to say hi, but that would take like 30 seconds. So I'll just jump into the first question. How have you all been?
Who's going first?
Soloway, go ahead.
All right, I'll jump in. I've been pretty good actually. I kind of fortuitously, before all this really got crazy and hectic back in, I guess, late March, I was already scheduled to move back to my parents' house. And so I moved from more of like a city area back to more of a suburban area. And I think that has made life a little bit easier on me. I've, been able to go out in the yard and get some fresh air and a little bit of green space. And so I don't feel as stressed as people who are living in urban areas might feel, just because nobody's really on top of me. And the plus side is I've been able to, the last month, gosh, how many weeks has it been? Month and a half-ish with my parents, which has been nice. A lot of cooking. And so, trying to find the silver linings through all of the craziness.
That's cool. You got a dog too, right?
Yeah, my parents would get a little dog. He's out on a walk right now, so maybe he'll make an appearance in a little bit. We'll see.
How about you, Mr. Hirschberg? How's your son and the good weather it seems like you're having?
Jackson is great. He actually took his first steps this week. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Of course, today, because he's taking his first few steps, he kind of got stuck and then face planted on the floor, and now he's got a little gash right on his forehead. So I'm learning parenting as we go here. But no, everything is good. Just really enjoying the family time, but also just enjoying. You do start to miss the people that you see every day, and the interactions with our students and the interactions with the other teachers. And so it's nice to have these Zoom calls. And I find one thing that at least I've gotten out of this is now I no longer call people if I need to talk to them. I actually FaceTime them. So I feel like my FaceTime is up big time over this, which is great. So yeah, no complaints here.
That's awesome. What about you, Mr. G? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually enjoying a lot of I guess the ability to make my own schedule during the day a bit. Like I can go for a run whenever I want, and it's kind of kicked me out the door a little bit. So I'm trying to exercise a lot more, which has been nice. I did my longest run in a decade yesterday, so I feel pretty good about that. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad. I'm not a super social person, so I don't really go out anywhere anyway, other than like errands. I do find the food store really mysterious with everybody with face coverings. It's really interesting seeing all the people just like you can only see their eyes. So that's pretty weird. But aside from that, everything's going well. I've been doing a lot of video stuff for the school and excited for college signing day and get that project rolling.
Nice. And last but most certainly not least, Miss Addeo, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Kind of on the opposite end of Mr. Soloway's comment. I've been in the city. I live in the city, and so it's been weird to be in a very dense area, and it's really hard to get away from people, especially on really nice days when everyone wants to get out and enjoy the weather. I on those days when I feel like I'm supposed to want to enjoy and feel good, I feel a lot more anxious because there's so many people around and it's really hard to maintain like social distancing. And I also live alone. So like not seeing people and not seeing people that I know, like it is like Zoom is the extent of which I see people that I know, which is hard. So yeah, I definitely miss working in a school. I definitely miss seeing like kids and students and colleagues and my family. I miss my family a lot. But otherwise happy, healthy, and like doing okay. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I never really considered living alone during a time like this, especially since like there are two screaming kids downstairs. So that's like I haven't even fathomed that. But it's great to hear that you guys are doing good. So what's something that's been keeping you all sane? I know there's sun salutations, there's dogs, there's kids. How's it all going?
I'd say for me, I've gotten really into biking. That's been my kind of like sanity. I think that as nice as it is to be back with my parents, we're driving each other a little bit insane now that it's been just the three of us together for a long time. And so being able to just get out and bike around. I know I did probably about a week and a half ago, I did probably similar to Mr. Garrity's comment. I did the longest bike ride I've ever done. It was about like 43, 44 miles. So it was like a solid Saturday activity, but definitely that kind of, getting outside, being active is the thing that's really keeping me the most sane, I'd say.
Cool. I haven't done 40 miles, but I've done 25 miles. So I'm almost there.
That's good.
Yeah.
I
Go
think
me.
20 is solid.
I'd say I've been I'm pretty good at finding different things to do and different hobbies. One of the things my mom always preached to me was always have a hobby and even if you suck at your hobby, it's okay. It will just keep you busy and your mind going. So like I tried woodworking for the first time and it came out pretty good. We've kind of fixed up our back area. So some gardening, a lot of cooking, which I'm really good at. So I'm not here to just float my own boat, but I'm really good at cooking. So baking, not so much. I suck at baking. But my usuals of, fishing and then going for a run. So a lot of my hobbies don't involve too many people. So it's been pretty nice, kind of spending time with my wife. Although we're both working, we have dedicated ourselves to going on a walk every day. So that's been nice as well.
I have been picking up a lot of new crafts. So something that I don't know if everyone knows this about me, but I am very handy and very crafty. Like I like to make things. So I've been knitting. I've been like relearning how to knit. My great aunt years ago when I was maybe 7 taught me. And I have it was so interesting because when I started relearning and like watching YouTube videos on how to knit, all of these very deep memories of her teaching me how to knit started to come back to me. And I'd like remember her babysitting me and teaching me. I'd remember like all of these things. And she's passed years ago, but that was really interesting to kind of like pick up an old hobby and create something. So I've made a baby blanket for my cousin who is due in June. She's having her first baby. And I've made a reusable grocery bag, which came out very, very nice, I must say. Tooting my own horn like Mr. B. And then I am currently making a adult size blanket to give to one of my best friends for her birthday. So all the things that I've made have been gifts for people. So I think my next project I'm going to make just for myself to keep. So.
Well, Miss Addeo, actually, to that end, speaking of my girlfriend knit me this blanket like a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow. How nice. That's cool.
It's like huge. It's like a nap size blanket.
How long did it take her? Did she say?
I think she kind of got lost in the middle for a little bit. So it was probably, a couple of months.
That sounds right. It honestly, when I first started, I was like, oh, baby blanket, that'll take me like 5 days. Like, oh, That thing took me like a month. It forever. It took me so long. I was definitely not anticipating how long one project would take. But
Can I just jump in here and say, Mr. Soloway, that's a great point. You know how undervalued or underrated a nap-sized blanket is? You're like over 6 foot, because you can't cover the shoulders and the feet unless you have a nap-sized blanket. It's impossible. So a nap-sized blanket, Miss Addeo, is give it the extra 6 to 8 inches. You're great.
got it.
But when you take a nap, do you really want full coverage? Because
Yes.
I like to keep my feet breathing.
100%.
No, I like to keep the feet breathing in a nap.
Absolutely not. I feel like if I don't have my feet completely covered, some strange thing is going to pop out from under my bed and grab my feet, and like the world will end. Feet must be covered at all times.
That's what
Shoulders
happens when you live
uncovered.
alone.
Yeah, that's a little.
That was
extreme.
cruel. That was cruel.
But no, full coverage all the time. All
Yeah,
the time.
I agree.
It's concerning that.
I'm not full coverage. Feet for sure, but shoulders, like I need my arms out. I got to be able to do stuff with my arms.
Each their own. To each their own.
Exactly.
Mhm.
What's some lessons you guys have learned during this quarantine, or even just in the past couple of months, that you'd like to share with some people a little bit younger than you? You all made the like thinking face, just like.
Go ahead, Bri. I know you got some lessons.
He's got some old man wisdom.
So I got some dad lessons here.
He's got like a king. He's got a
Dad,
staff
lay it
over
on
there.
us.
Let's hear it, Brian. Let's hear it.
You know, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, patience, right? And like, just like, so we've talked about this a lot in advisory, and Mr. Soloway knows because we share an advisory, about how difficult it is to actually just to turn off and really just enjoy the moment, right? And be present in the moment that you're in, and not to just constantly think about all the million things that we all have going on. And I think this experience has taught me is like, yeah, it's actually just really peaceful to just take, you know, it starts with 5 minutes a day, and then it's 20 minutes a day, and then however long you get to really just enjoy, like Mr. G said, just enjoy a walk with your wife or your brother or your daughter or whoever your parents, whoever it is that, you know, you are with in this quarantine. And so I think that's the lesson, is just like, just enjoy the time instead of feeling it's like it's a wasted time. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for like these AP exams to be done so I can truly do that, but I felt that, man.
I think also there's definitely a lesson in all of this about like just being really considerate of others and thinking about a lot of other people. I think, you know, being on the young end of the spectrum in terms of age, you know, this pandemic is something that if I were to get it, it wouldn't necessarily affect me, hopefully, if I were to get it, like it is affecting older people. And so being very considerate when I am going out, of, you know, being really careful of what I'm doing, of just, you know, like how I'm acting and those kind of things, so that the people around me can make sure they're staying safe. You know, I have grandparents who live in the city, and they're terrified all the time because they're old and they're, you know, people who have had pre-existing conditions and things like that. And so they're very scared all the time. And it makes me really like, I'm worried about them because they are people who, if they were to get this, they probably would die. And so I think just being really considerate of everybody around you, especially because we are people who it wouldn't necessarily affect like it's affecting other people around us.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've done a couple of interviews with some kids, and well, I mean, I guess this part will get cut out, but like just hearing them say like, oh no, I don't really care, like it's just more time to be on the game, or like it just sucks that I can't be with my friends. I'm like I have a grandfather who's in Georgia, my grandma is in California with the other family taking care of the grandkids, but he's there on his own, and he's like, yeah, I don't go outside. I go in the backyard, I sit on the chair, and that's it. Luckily, he's like super self-dependent, so he's not really going outside anyway. But it's like super nerve-wracking to know that he's his own, and you know, like there's not even the peace of mind of someone else being there with him. Like he's on his own, so it's hard to have patience, but also like to be calm at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think my biggest recognition was like when this first started to happen, I think everyone was kind of after a few weeks saying, I just want things to go back to normal. I need to get a haircut. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need my life to like go back to what it was. And I was almost having the opposite thought, just like enjoying waking up at a little bit later, cooking breakfast. Like, God, I don't remember the last time I cooked breakfast on a weekday. Like Mr. G said, like take a break in the afternoon to exercise, like things that I just wasn't able to do in my regular life. Like I was going constantly, and was never really able to just slow down. And I'm still doing a lot of work. Like I am still at capacity in terms of my work life right now, but I feel differently about my ability to move about my day and go through my day. And I don't know, I guess to translate that to advice, it's like, if you are having a hard time with this, try to find a highlight in how you're living differently and try to see like ways in which your life has changed in a positive way, if you can find one, and see if you can adjust to the positives in that lifestyle. And maybe we'll be able to keep some of these elements of life, like even when things do resume in some way, shape, or form to normalcy. And maybe this will allow us to have, you know, stronger and deeper relationships with ourselves, and our loved ones. Oh, hey guys.
This is Gus.
Look at that cutie.
Gus is the new family member. He's little. He's very little.
I can
What breed
like
is
feel
he?
how soft he is just by looking at him.
So he's a mix of a Cavalier King Charles and a mini poodle. He's, I guess, on the market they're called Cavapoos. Just call
Oh
him
my
up.
God.
But when we first got him, he was like 8 weeks and about 5 pounds. And he's probably about 10 pounds now, getting up to a whopping, when he's fully grown, about 15 to 20 pounds.
Oh my, big boy.
Wow.
Yeah. But he is, we really, like, each day he does something that's cuter than the day before, which is tough when you're like, you know, he's like trying to be a masculine man, but he's, you know, just like too adorable. He's a little living teddy bear.
Look how good he is, just sitting.
I think he loves laps, loves kisses, but he loves being on laps. He's like super calm.
Such a cutie.
What do we have to do to get him into school? Like during one of the 0 pep rallies we have during a year, he's got to be there. Just like streak across the court. That'd be amazing.
It's like a nice run across the court.
Yeah. Little slow-mo run on camera.
Yeah. Well, then that leads me perfectly into my final question to end on a positive note. What's something you guys are excited for next year?
Next school year?
Yeah.
I'll lead us off. I have big plans for our Uncommon Media Network, so I'm excited for that. And kind of incorporating both campuses and expanding quite a bit. I have this great big plan. I will present it to everybody at some point, so without giving away too much. But it will incorporate video, music, acting, media, marketing, a business side of it. So it's going to be pretty insane. Hirschberg has witnessed some of my brainstorming, but I'm excited to do that next year and really kind of get that going. So that's exciting.
And I'm excited to watch that.
I was going to second that. Let's see our online footprint expand?
Definitely.
I am excited for first to see class of 2020 in college. That class will bring me to tears on the day of graduation, whenever that will be and whatever that will look like. But I am really excited to see them kind of in this new life, and see how they do and hear about that. And then I'm also really excited to be kind of innovative about what math education looks like going into next year. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to take some of what we learned through remote learning and either keep some of it going or, transition it to be something like how we bring it into our regular education that we know, and how we can kind of take the things that worked really well and that students really enjoyed and keep that going, and maybe find just creative ways to engage students in math in the future. So I'm excited about that, most of all, since that's mostly what my job consists of now.
I would second what Ms. Addeo just said. I think that one positive coming out of all this is that I think education will look different when we return eventually to whatever normal will be. But I think that with everything shifting to virtual and online this spring, I think a lot of people have had time to think about what kind of best practices have come out of this that can maintain in all subjects and in all facets of education when we do return to school. So I think I'm excited to see what that looks like, because I think it'll look different than it looked like, last November when this wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be a senior, and woot. Oh my gosh, junior year has been insane. Miss Addeo has witnessed me at my not finest moments in calculus, but I pushed through. I got it done, and I'm just ready to like Mr. G said, expand with Uncommon Media Network, and bring as much happiness as possible to the school and make this last year a memorable one. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to say that I knew you. That's what I can't wait to do.
Let's let that be a long time from now. These connections with you guys, like in my perfect reality, like last for a very long time. Cool. I want to ask you, Mr. Hirschberg, about your company, but I'm gonna do that after the fake goodbye.
Fair.
Thank you so much, guys, for this amazing interview. Stay safe, stay yoga and biked and running up, and just thank you again.
Thank you, Elias.
Thank you.
Thanks.